Hello everybody, oh my gosh, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am recording outdoors. Did you hear the sounds of nature? Enjoy it. You probably were sitting inside all day. So take a second to appreciate the birds and the crickets. I will be doing so as long as no bug launches itself onto me. Today, a thought crossed my mind that I wanted to talk about on here, which is the fact that our lives are literally just an algorithm. They're just an algorithm, and I'm not trying to be all deep state, we live in the matrix here. I genuinely mean that, like, the way our brains operate is similar to how algorithms treat what they show you on their feeds. Therefore, you can hack the algorithm of your life in your favor. So, let me explain. I've gone into depth in past videos about how our brains so deeply influence the reality that we experience and see around us, because our reality is programmed by what our brain is taught is important. And our belief systems, our thoughts, our opinions, and like the stories that we tell ourselves are what basically tells our brain, hey, this is fact, this is what's important, this is what we should look out for. Because obviously, given just how much sensory input is in this world at every single second, your brain is never like shut off when you're awake. You are always silently or consciously absorbing so much around you. And if your brain were to actually keep track of every single thing that it's taking in, we'd fucking implode. Like, data overload, there's just too much. We cannot keep track of so much data all at once. So your brain has something called your reticular activating system, which basically is what I was talking about, tells your brain what is important and what is not. And when you tell yourself the same stories of like, I can't do this, this is too hard, or like, there are no good people out there, the world is terrible, that programs your brain, programs the algorithm of your brain to say, okay, this is fact. Your brain believes you when you say shit. Like, the brain on a subconscious level does not question the shit that you tell it most of the time. It's not like questioning you like, oh, are you sure about that? That's not for your highest good. Like, your brain is simply here to make sure that you survive and you're alive. Like, it's not going to question you. So when you tell your brain these things about the world, or like the ways that you expect to be successful, or things to be hard, or like, I'm just not good at this, I just can't exercise, like, I just can't whatever, insert whatever common thing people usually say. Fixing this freaking mic. Hopefully it just doesn't sound as much like a freaking fish bowl like my other ones. That's why I've been using this. It looks a little jank, but like, hey, if you're here, you're not here for the professional quality edits, I'm assuming. So anyways, so when you tell yourself all these stories about life and what you expect to see, like, your brain, your reticular activating system then filters through all of that input I was talking about, all of the massive amount of sensory input and data and information, etc., about the world, to go through the lens and the filter of what you tell it and what you program yourself with. And a lot of the times these beliefs come from programming that, like, was not yours in childhood, by society, by whatever. So don't take all this to heart as like, oh my gosh, I'm responsible for the entire world that I'm seeing, because up until a certain point in your life, you're really not. Like, think about when you're in high school and all the points before that, you're not really consciously choosing the thoughts that you're having, more or less. Like, once you get to adulthood and you have that clean slate to just create your whole entire life, you're like, fuck. Like, now it's my turn to actually create this entire, like, now I'm responsible for it, you know what I mean? But anyway, so all of these beliefs, conditionings, programming, whatever, all these stories that you tell yourself, program your brain to look for those things. A good example of this is if you start looking for a car, you're looking to buy a car, and you never really see this car anywhere before that, but then you suddenly start to pay attention and subconsciously realize seeing like a very specific type of car, and you're like, oh my god, it's everywhere now. The car was always there, you just weren't looking at it as if it was important. This is a concept I first learned from Monica Yates, to give credit where credit is due, although it's not like this is record-breaking research here. Like, this is just common fact, but she's where I first got that from. So, but it is true. Like, when you start looking for things, you're gonna find them. You're going to find them. And where you can hack the algorithm of your life, as I'm talking about, is by intentionally telling yourself the things to be looking for. Things always work out for me. There's good people all around. Like, opportunities are abundant, etc. The kind of things that you see people saying as normal, like affirmations. That kind of mentality, that's how you kind of switch the brain to stop looking for things like, oh my gosh, I just can't do this, I'm not good enough, blah, 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 to actually looking for things in the positive realm that allow you to experience life with more fulfillment than you do just on the auto-programming mode. And honestly, the example of me getting into, like, actually getting to a point where I was changing my life and changing my beliefs and thought patterns and habits restart. My beliefs, thought patterns, and habits started with literally my Instagram algorithm shifting. Like, when you start to interact with videos more, a certain kind of video, more of those videos will pop up. It's similar to your brain. When you start to notice something more, like, more of those things come up. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see the comparison here? I hope you guys do. And I remember fall of senior year, like, my peak stress time at UConn, when I was just, like, so unwell, and it was, like, winter time, December. I so vividly remember, this is so wild that I remember this, because I don't even remember who the person was, but I so vividly remember this post come up that was talking about how, like, unhealthy habits or things that, you know, he notices. It was someone who's a type of mentor, life coach, like, personal development, self-improvement, etc. Things he notices that keep you stuck, something along those lines. And I read the caption. I so vividly remember this moment, sitting on the bus, going, like, through campus in, like, my full winter gear, just looking at this, and, you know, some of the things in the caption, like, things like expecting that you don't judge yourself for the things that you judge other people for, or things like that, things that are kind of just, like, bringing awareness to things that I did that I didn't really realize, or, like, how hard I was on myself, or how so wrapped into stress I was. I remember that moment sitting on the bus, reading that caption, literally being like, oh shit, like, that's fucked up. Like, I definitely do some of this shit. Like, that's not good. And it wasn't in a panic thing, but it was just, like, an awakening moment of, like, oh shit. And because I interacted with videos like that came onto my feed because I was interacting with posts about being grateful and appreciating life, and, you know, like, wanting to improve yourself and just generally live a happier life. All of the things in the realm of, like, personal development, etc. Because I started interacting with those videos more, I saw more of them, which then led me down this whole path, which actually led me to Monica, which then led me on a whole fucking whirlwind journey of coming to a lot of, like, factual terms with the way that I was seeing the world, which then gave me the ability to actually change it and create my life based around beliefs that I wanted to have, and not beliefs that I was just living with without even realizing it. That's the whole point of this whole video, is that you get to choose what you believe, what you see, and what you pay attention to. You just have to consciously, actively ignore thoughts that no longer serve you, and nourish and, like, bring intentional awareness to thoughts and belief systems and patterns that actually do serve you. It starts with coming into awareness and then actively choosing to do things that serve the future version of you rather than just where you're at. Basically, either way, our lives are basically an algorithm with what we're seeing. Is what, like, the only difference is whether or not you are living it based on autopilot mode and other people's stories that don't actually fit your highest potential and highest timeline, and actually feeling like living an aligned life, or you consciously create your own reality and choose to believe certain things, and then therefore tell your brain what's important, and you see more opportunities, more good things happening, more ease, less stress, like, all the good things. So I hope this video helped open some of the I don't even know what the fuck I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like, I hope this video expanded some awareness, as it did for me, to learn about these concepts and kind of see it this way. But it literally is an algorithm. Like, life is just a fucking TikTok algorithm living on the big screen. Like, our brains are so... I don't want to say we're robots. We're absolutely not robots. But our brains and computers do have similarities and overlaps. And the kind of just, like, systems and looking for things and programming, etc. Very similar. So, anyways... I hope you guys are having a fantastic day wherever you are. Thank you for listening. Go be your most organic selves, and I will see you next week. Bye, guys.